Morning, gang. It's just coming up to 10:40 on Tuesday, the 30th of April, 2019. A warm welcome along to a rather late United Kingdom talk this morning, boys and girls. I've been stuck on the phone to Virgin Media for about 45 minutes. If you're a regular viewer to the show, you'll know that I've been trying out... what's that? A bit of breakfast caught in my teeth. Oh, how awful, dear. I knew I should have brushed my teeth before I spoke to you this morning. I've been trying out... First of all, I tried the 3 network. 3, the 4G broadband box, which I purchased for my caravan so I can get broadband down here. I've been trying it up here at the house as well, here in Bracknell in Berkshire, with great success, to be honest. So I've tried that, so I knew I could use something else. More recently, I've been moving all my emails over to my own email address rather than have them drop in the Virgin email address. So that's all done. And I've done this in preparation to move from Virgin Media. The reason is I do have the top broadband package of 350 meg coming down. 22 coming up, and quite frankly I just don't need it, and I've been looking around for a better deal. As I say, 3 do a 4G broadband which works perfectly all right. That's £22 a month. Vodafone also do one for £23 a month, which is a wired in connection. So although I've been using the 4G with great success, watching the telly, streaming shows, we did it for 2 weeks, everything worked perfectly as well, I think I'm going to go for another wired connection, and I'm going to go down to Vodafone after the show today and arrange all that. I was on the phone to Virgin Media for about 45 minutes. Ever so nice people to talk to. I've never ever had a problem with Virgin Broadband. It's always been fantastic service. If it's gone down for like a couple of hours. In all the time I've been with Virgin, which is about 15 years now. First of all, they were NTL World and then they became Virgin. In all that time, I don't think it's ever been down more than 4 times for about 2 hours a time, maximum, if that. Fantastic service. The speed is great. I've no complaints whatsoever, but the price difference is now enormous. I'm paying them £53 a month to drop down levels, okay, which they talked to me about on the phone. I said, would you be happy to drop down, from 350 to 200 or 100? I said, yes, that would be fine. But the closest they could get was £36. Well, there's a big difference between 22 and 36. You're probably sitting there, it's only 15 quid a month. Yeah, that's like 170 quid a year. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm not prepared to ignore it anymore. So, after, as I say, 45 minutes on the phone, unfortunately, they couldn't get anywhere close to the 22.5 quid or £23, whatever it is that Vodafone are offering. Or indeed, the £22 that I could get it off 3 broadband, off 3 4G broadband. So that's it. So we kind of left the phone there. I've just received the email there with the disconnection date, which is the end of this month. I think 30th or 31st of May, whatever that is. It's one or the other, isn't it? And that'll be it. What a shame. I mean, I don't know if it's good business or what. You have to remember, from their point of view, the wire is already here. The box is already here. So they've got nothing really to lose other than less money coming in by keeping it and matching the Vodafone price. You would think that they match a competitor's price, but they were nowhere near it. I mean, I might have even considered paying 25 quid a month, just to stop the hassle of me having to go down to Vodafone and say, yeah, I want you to do this, that, and the other. I've already checked all this out, you see. As I say, I've tried the 3 4G broadband. That works fine. I've already been to Vodafone, right, and asked them how it all works. And they say, have you got a BT phone line? I said, yes. I said, but I want the fibre thing. Okay, well, we have to dig a wire into your house. He said, usual price of that is £80 connection fee. But if you go into the shop and book it, they waive that fee. So I think it's winners all round, really. So that's it. It's all in place now. So Virgin Media, thank you very much. Fantastic service, but you've become too expensive. Bye-bye. And that's it. Shame, really. That is really a shame. And that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. I'm pleased to tell you that my fatigue has lifted that I had over the weekend. I've been feeling a little bit like that the whole weekend, but that's a lot better now. Let's say hello to some of you there this morning. Okie doke. First message of the day is from the delightful Mr. Eric Wiltshire, who runs RTI. I could do your jingles, Eric. I could sing you for RTI with Eric Wiltshire and the postcard from Pop Rad. Maybe it might sound a little better with a bit of an orchestra behind it. Huh? Morning, Eric. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Who says Kazam to you. I have indeed kicked Virgin. As I say, I'm disappointed that I've had to leave them. But the price difference is so much now that you can't ignore it. 30 odd quid. Was it 20? Say if Vodafone's 23, 33, 43, 30 quid a month. 333, that's £360 a year difference. Unbelievable. Good morning to Diane Jeb. Morning, Diane. Gary Butler's here, who's got mum's phone, trying to get her to do some work. Oh, yeah. My sister is Gary's mum, okay? Gary is my nephew. She goes around there and helps him out a little bit. But she does get distracted quite a lot by phones ringing and televisions on and things like that. Good morning to you, Todd. Good morning to you. Trying to change my name to Chef Rob. We'll try harder. I don't know if you can change your name on Facebook, actually. There's bound to be some sort of Google help thing there. I'd have a look around. I'm not sure you can change your name on Facebook. Maybe someone else would know that. I don't know. Good morning to Joseph McDonald's. A good morning to you. The garden is looking very stunning. I meant to upload a short video into the computer that works this program, actually, to show you, which I haven't done yet because not everyone's seen that video. Basically, I bought these trees about 3 years ago. I think they're called laburnum, and they got like this yellow hanging chandelier type flower, a bit like a wisteria. And for the first time this year, it's flowered. And it looks beautiful. I have videoed that, so I'll hopefully upload that perhaps for tomorrow's show, okay? Thank you, Weird City likes the jacket. Oh, do you? Okay, this is an old one. This is about 3 years old, this one. All right, Joseph remembers when we didn't have broadband. Absolutely. You remember waiting for that photograph to come down on your screen on the modem? 24K. Beep, 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 and the picture come down like this, didn't it? Well, I've got a picture here. What picture can I show you? Let's do this. I've got this from the sports centre. Yeah, what picture have we got here? A picture of a nice young lady here for the straight lads. There we are. Beep, 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 beep. That's like the modem coming. Beep, 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 beep. Used to come down like that, didn't it? Oh, how annoying was that? And then, when the picture eventually arrived, you were disappointed because they were ugly. If you were on one of those dating sites. Oh, waited all that time to see that. If you're really unlucky, you'd be downloading a picture of Piers Morgan or somewhere like that. Cool, he's rough, isn't he? Mind you, not as rough as Katie Price. She's had her face done again. Oh, I've got a story here. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find. Here we are. Katie Price. It's in the Sun this morning. Katie Price has been branded the Bride of Wildenstein by fans as she revealed her new look. And there's a picture of her on there. Oh, it's not good. It's not good. She's 40. What if you say so, dear? She looks like, and she does, she looks like an alien. Her face is very swollen, so of course it's not settled down yet, I suppose. 4 days after her third facelift in Turkey. Why do they do it? Talking to Instagram, the mum of 5, she insists she is happy with her speedy recovery and excited for the results. He says, I know I look unrecognisable here, but 4 days after the surgery, so very swollen and look like an alien. But can't believe how quick I'm recovering from my surgery from head to toe, excited for the results. Well, good luck, love. I hope it ends up better than that. 'Cause you look dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Why, oh, why do they do it? Why? What was it I was watching? It was trash television. I just happened to come across it last night on the ITV Hub. I have watched it before. You know, with that good-looking Jordan. What's it called in the swimming thing? Is it Ibiza Uncovered? Weekender? You know, Jordan, the Welsh lad. Good-looking lad. Bit mouthy. Gets the girls. He could get me if he wants to. Might be slightly too old for him, I don't know yet. But he was one of those programmes, and it's about holiday reps, okay? And one of the young girls, she hasn't been in it for a while, she's back in it, and she proudly states, yep, this is the new me. I've had my lips done and my cheeks are filled out. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, this girl is about 24 years old, and she's had her face done already. There's going to be some really weird-looking people walking around in the world in 50 years' time. I'll tell you that now. I mean, it's bad enough now when you watch those American news programmes. Practically every man and woman who hosts those shows has had their face done. Lips and cheeks and eyes and looking like that. But they get it done and they think it looks good. Well, I suppose you would do, if you spent £10,000, it's got to be good, isn't it? No, not necessarily, as you can see. Strange people. Eric says, you sing 'em, I'll play 'em. He needs some new jingles, Eric, for his little radio show, don't you, my darling? Plus, I could do all your presenters' jingles. Would have to start speaking a foreign language then, wouldn't I think? Morning to Aaron Kelly. Good morning, Aaron. Welcome to the show. Michael Pohlman's there in Australia. Morning, sir. Dr. SOS Gregorian, who says, it's the day before I give my cat away to the vet, so I'll be travelling and no one to look after him. A bit sad, but they say cats will get used to anyone who feeds them. That's absolutely right, mate. That's absolutely right. In fact, just because you're with your cat, girl or boy, at home, if someone down the road gives it a better offer, that cat is off, mate. They have absolutely no loyalty whatsoever. Someone else, if you're giving it cat food and the woman down the end is giving it, cooked turkey, it'll be off. Be warned. Cats have no loyalty whatsoever. They said, oh, hang on, that bloke down the road's got, they got fresh chicken. And they pack their bags, gone. You never see them again. So don't worry about giving your cat to the vet for a couple of weeks. He's not bothered. As long as it gets fed and watered. They are not bothered, mate. Morning to Adrian Richardson. Brendan. Good morning to Brendan. Mr. Karaoke from Brendan in the Norfolk Broads. Oh, years and years ago when I was about 16, 17 maybe, was in the Scouts. I think I was a leader then. Would it be with Event or Venture Scouts? I think it was in the Venture Scouts then. And we hired this boat on the Norfolk Broads. And it was quite good. Very relaxing, actually, going along there. And it had this electric roof. And when it come to a bridge, we had to push a button and the roof would come down so we could go under it. Anyway, I was mucking around with this roof. Oh, close, open, close, open. Then a bridge came along and it wouldn't open. And we got stuck there. I think we had to wait for the battery to recharge. Does that sound right? Do you know anything about boats? I'm sure we had to wait for the battery to recharge. We had the diesel generator running or something like that. Whenever we put the heating on, the whole place used to fill with diesel fumes. I don't know why we're not all dead, to be honest. Morning, Brendan. Joseph says you don't need anything done to you. I have no intention of having anything done to my face. I'll tell you that now. I have people, in fact, my best mate, whose birthday it is today, he's 46 today, my best mate. And we're going out for a little bit of lunch, which we're looking forward to. And I'll go down to Vodafone while I'm there. And Eric, I don't suppose, what do you know about Vodafone broadband? Are they pretty good? They seem to be about 30. He said they're 35 meg services. He says it's 35 up and 35 down. Does that sound about right to you? Because the Virgin one, it's weird. It's like 300 down and 25 up. They say, what was the word he used? The word he used to say that the upload speed is the same as the download speed. He used a specific word. I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, my mate says, why don't you have, you could have those lines taken out by a bit of Botox. I don't want that. No. It just makes you look unnormal. There's enough people walking around unnormal, most of them in London. Enough unnormal, most of you are probably unnormal watching this programme. Why else would you watch it? Why would anyone normal and sane sit there and watch this programme? Be honest. Be honest. Adrian, are you trying to do crowdfunding for yourself for a facelift or a few tax and a few other things, something, don't know, that sort of thing? Well, actually, Actually, Adrian, if I had my face done, that probably could be put against tax. Because I could say I need to look good for my job. That is, and I'm not making that up. I know people who have put their facial surgery through their tax books. Quite legally, because you've got to look good for the job. Fortunately, Adrian, I look fantastic for the job anyway, so I don't need it done. As you can see with your own eyes, lovey. Have you thought about having anything done, dear? And that's the other thing. When you lose weight, after a certain age, your lines become more pronounced. So perhaps it's a good job I'm putting on some weight at the moment. Morning to Matthew Joplin. Good morning to you, sir. He's one of the DJs at Pop World, both in London, and he does Brighton as well on a Saturday now. That's Matthew up there. He's a DJ. And he was telling me on Saturday nights when he finishes in Brighton I think it's about 3 o'clock, he can't get the train home. There's not a train until 4:45. Oh, dear me. What's going on? Oh, fancy you calling, Eric. Just a minute now. There we are. Line 1, where an international call from Poprad. Good morning, Eric. How did you know the phone line was open? It's not usually open.
Oh, what have I done?
Oh, you've rung me. That's okay. That's all right. I had it open. I was going to open it today, funnily enough, and you seem to know it was open anyway, Eric. Good morning.
Well, I kind of have this, what's the word I'm looking for, Chris?
Mental connection.
Yeah, that'll do.
Mental connection with me.
I have this mental rapport with you.
Yes, you do.
So I wish it to be on, and therefore it is on, and therefore I'm here just to give you a brief explanation.
Thank you.
Right. So, if you think of thinking thousands for me, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, it's like my bank account, thousands. Carry on, yes.
Yeah, well, it is in your case.
Not as much as your boss, mind you, but he's a lovely man. Do give him my regards.
He's a lovely man, actually.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. Most of the servers that you work on run on 300, roughly. Now, 1,000 is 1. 35 is 35 times that. So why on earth do you need really fast broadband unless you're doing something naughty?
You don't. You just don't need it. And
No.
I know what you mean by doing something naughty. Let me tell you, I don't have any of those endless film download programs. I think one of them's Kodi, isn't it? Is one of them called? Is that?
Yeah,
is that
there's several of them which I won't mention on here for obvious reasons.
Well, I don't have any of that. I really don't.
No. But here's my top tip. There is a website called speedtest.net.
Got that, yeah.
Right. When you go onto speedtest.net, it gives you 3 numbers. A ping speed, P-I-N-G,
Ping.
ping, an upload and a download speed.
Yeah.
Really, the most important one is the ping speed.
Oh, right, okay.
Because that tells you how fast it's communicating, it's pinging from one to the other.
Right.
Now, if the ping speed is above, say, 40, you're going to have what they call latency problems, which means you're going to get buffering and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and ideally, if you can get it into teenage figures, then you've got a good broadband service.
Okay.
Simple as that. You don't need all these 150 megs up and da-di-da-di-da. And to explain that for the listeners, I'm just going to add them up quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 TV channels and we have got 2 radio stations running on a 10 meg line.
Wow. Yeah, wow. So you
Just
just don't need it, do you?
Absolutely not.
I don't know if you know, you've obviously been listening to this show. I have been using the Mobile Network 3 4G broadband with no problems whatsoever. It works really well.
Yeah, but you got it right earlier, Chris, that there is so much sharing of networks that really everybody should be able to compete. And I'm surprised at Virgin Media for not competing. But it's their loss. You know, the fact is the cost of running broadband is coming down because the infrastructure is paid for until we get 5G. And don't start me on 5G because I hate all the silly comments on social media about it. And it's going to kill the world and we're all going to die, which is rubbish.
Oh.
Oh, have you seen them?
Well, it's like the latest asteroid coming towards us, or it just goes on and on.
Yeah, well, do you want a piece of this is absolutely true, Chris, and you've known me for many, many years, and I was for many years in the satellite industry, and I used to have one of those really big dishes in my back garden that everybody hated, and it used a band
Yeah.
called C band.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Now, guess where part of 5G is?
Go on.
C band.
Right, and we've had that for years anyway.
Yes.
We've had that for. Have you got a big dish where you are now?
No.
Oh,
No.
you don't
No,
know.
no.
You don't know Ray Reynolds, do you?
Name rings a bell, but
Ray
probably
Reynolds.
on here.
No, he's got in his gut. That's his thing. Although he's a watcher, he likes to watch television from all over the world, and he's got a big dish in his garden now, and yeah, does all that business.
Yeah, well, as you quite rightly said, the interweb does it for me now anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a case of I have a little box called a Raspberry Pi
Oh yes, yes.
with a little bit of Eric attached to it.
I was going
and
to
I
say
can watch
that's
telly from anywhere in the world.
a DIY thing. That is. I got a question for you on Skype. Now you use Skype on your station, don't you?
Yep.
Right. I've looked. The latest Skype, I can't turn the ringing off.
Huh?
You know, like if my fader's up, okay,
Yeah.
and you ring, everyone can hear that now. It doesn't just pop up, call. It actually rings, and there doesn't seem to be a way of turning off the Skype sounds.
I haven't looked recently, Chris,
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest, because when I call people or have people calling in,
Yeah.
I'm always on pre-fade, so I'm listening in my other ear
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
one side, so I don't actually get that going to her, and I haven't noticed it.
Okay.
And to explain that to people, with the mixer that Chris has got and the one I've got, you can listen to stuff before it goes out to the big wide world.
Yeah.
And I've always done that. I've always had it on what they call pre-fade, so I've
Yeah.
never really heard it.
Yeah, I've usually got that fader down anyway, but
Yeah.
it just happened to be up. Actually, it might have been a good job it was, because otherwise I might not have noticed you pop up there, my dear.
Well, thank you. I love popping up when you're there,
It's
dear.
lovely for you to pop up at any time you want, Eric. Do you know?
Right,
think
I
is
better
it-
go and let you get on with your lovely listeners.
Yes, okay.
Great day to everybody. Have a good one and enjoy the next bank holiday.
Good. Thank you, Eric. Cheerio now.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Eric Wiltsher there, boys and girls. He runs a radio station and TV thing in Slovakia. And I did it's about 10 years ago since I went there. And I went over there and did a show and some work with that, which was great fun, actually. Good morning to Glenda, who's texted into the show. Good morning, Glenda, who says, good morning, Mr. England. So happy to see you. You make me smile. Thank you, Glenda. One day we'll meet and I shall come and tickle you. And you will smile even more, my dear. Smiling, that's what it's all about. Smiling in this strange world that we live in. Morning. Ray Reynolds is with us there. Good morning, Ray Reynolds. Michael Lawrence is in the house. Morning, Michael Lawrence. Roy Brownlowe, a very good morning to you. Adrian says, I like raspberry pies with fresh vanilla custard. Do you know what a raspberry pie is, Adrian? It's like this little circuit board, and it can be turned into things. It's like a mini computer type things, I gather. Although I wouldn't have a clue what to do with something like that. Not a clue. Absolutely. Now, there's a phone line open. I'll leave the phone line open today, okay? We don't usually have the phone line open due to the dreadful quality of the calls sometimes. But if you want to call in and you've got something interesting to say, not, hello, how are you? I'm okay. Right, well, what do you want to say? I just wanted to say hello. That's not interesting, you see. Have something to say or come back at me with something that I've already said. Or maybe it's something that you might want to chat away to. Remember, we don't really do serious here. Keep it quite light-hearted, okay? Roy wants to know, what's the red thing in the middle of that tree in the picture? Ah, it's a cut-off branch. It's a cut-off branch. I know what that is. That they've cut the branch off there. Cut the branch off there and put that. They paint something on it, don't they? So that it doesn't get infected with viruses and fungus and things like that. That's what that is there. I think Ray Reynolds is talking to to Eric there, because Ray's got one of those big satellite dishes, and he says, I've got IPTV now, so that's the internet TV, and still have my directional dish, even watch Australia now. I know you well, and I'm a big fan of wonderful Radio London and the old Radio Luxembourg days. I was never really into Radio Luxembourg, funnily enough, but I used to have a radio under the bed that I listened to some of the radio stations on. Good. A good night at the karaoke last night. Very busy, I have to say, last night, Monday. We had 24 singers in there. And, of course, those that came in early and regular people always coming early. Ray Reynolds, for example. Roy, generally. Maureen. We had Jeannie D. Young David, although he doesn't come in and sing. The Reverend David, he was there early last night. Who else came in early last night? Peter H. Everyone's there. And they're only about 7:15, ready for 7:30. And often we start a little bit earlier. Sometimes we can start 20 past 7. If I'm ready, I just start. If I'm doing a karaoke night and I'm ready to go, I just start. No point in hanging around till 7:30 because your time is 7:30. You might as well start. So I do usually. And those people that came really early, most of them sung, I think, 3 times. I think Ray, you sung twice, but then you went home. So everyone who got there about 7:30 sung 3 times last night. And people come in as the night goes on. And the later you come in, the less you sing. But round about 9:30, I think we were pretty full up at about 9:30. And I had to pull the books at 9:30 because we had enough songs to go right the way through until 11 o'clock. So there were people that, as I say, came in 9:30, maybe some of them earlier. But even at 9:30, at that point, the list was so long that a lot of the people that came in at 9:30 only sang once, which was disappointing for them. But unfortunately, that's just how it is. And there was a little bit of a moan from someone last night who will remain nameless, which is a shame, really, because I know them quite well. And I was quite hurt, actually, on the way home last night. I'm not going to tell you who it was. Absolutely not. No, but I was quite hurt on the way home. This person complained that they'd only sung once. They had another song in. They got there at 9:30. And then another lady came in at 10:15 who went on within 15 minutes of her being there. The reason is she always comes at that time. I know she's coming, so I've got like a space saved for her, you see. And that's why, well, they wouldn't accept that. And it wasn't a row or anything like that, but I kind of had to make a point and move on. And I was really upset by that last night. But you see, that's what happens. If you get there early at 7:30, you will sing twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 sometimes. If you come, 9:30 is still late. It's only an hour and a half. It's only an hour and a half before we finish. I would like to say, if you come at 9:30, you'll sing at least twice. It just, you can't work it out. Now, last week, we were very quiet last week. And those people that come at 7:30 last week sung 4, some of them 5 times. This week, only 3 times. And there were people that coming in last week after 10 o'clock, ignoring the lady who usually comes after 10 o'clock because she always comes at the same time. I know she's coming. She always puts 2 songs in. More often than not, she only sings once because that's just how it is. So I put her in quite quickly when she gets in because I'm ready for her, right? So she's there. And then once she's sung, she goes back to the bottom and gradually moves up. Now, if she gets back to the top again, she'll sing again. She knows that. She knows that. If not, she knows that as well. And I was really disappointed last night. Really, really quite hurt last night. We got a call coming in there. Let's say hello. Good morning, DJRS UK. Are you one of those on YouTube, I think, aren't you?
I do both, Chris. I do YouTube and Facebook.
A very good morning to you, young man. And whereabouts are you?
Chris, can I say what a great honour and privilege for you to talk to me today?
It is a great honour. I'm so gobsmacked. It's unbelievable. I am almost lost for words, but I'm not.
Well, when I get famous, I may have to stop talking to you, unfortunately.
Whereabouts are you? What's your name?
It's Roy from Derby.
Oh, Roy in Derby. Good morning, Roy in Derby.
That's right, yeah. We're men and sheep walk round in 2s.
You got to watch around for those sheep and don't put the Wellington boots on the back of those legs because I know what's going on then, my friend.
Do you know, Chris? I never told you before. I have a friend in London, Mill.
Right.
Michael, you must know him, Michael. Everybody knows him. He'll
Michael?
sell you anything out of a suitcase.
Michael?
Yeah, he'll sell you anything out of a suitcase, mate.
Michael who? Why would I know him just because he's in London? Do you know how many people there are in London?
He's an old cockney like you.
Oh, is he? I'm not an old cockney. I've been told my accent is Thames Estuary. I'm not quite sure what that means, but that's what I've been told by someone. Oh, you've got a Thames Estuary accent. I'm nowhere near the Thames Estuary, dear.
I understand that, Chris. That means full of rubbish and condoms floating by.
Oh, it's dreadful, that river. I used to work at this pub, Roy, the Mayflower. And it was a lovely pub. And it was on the river. When I say on the river, I mean on the river, right next to it. And the river, it had like a bit of a kind of outside area with wooden planks. And quite often, the river would be underneath that bit. You could look down and see the water in there. But honestly, you see the filth and the rubbish when the tide goes out. It's awful. Awful.
Well, if you think about it, Chris, there must be hundreds and hundreds of years worth.
Of rubbish. Oh, yes. Yeah. Talking of rubbish and plastic and all that, Roy, and we spoke about this a couple of times on the show. Do you think we can now save the planet, or have we gone past that point, do you think? What do you think?
Chris, we can't save it for several reasons. One, it's probably gone too far.
Yeah.
Two, the bit that we do, other countries like Japan, China, they do 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So our little bit is nothing compared to what they're doing. I don't know if China or Japan, wherever it is, but it would take thousands and thousands of years and revenue, which we just haven't got, have we?
No, it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, we'll be all right. You and me will be all right, But the little children who are just being born now are the ones who are going to have the real problems, aren't they?
Yeah. My children. Well, my children, youngest is 12 now, but yeah, my children. But unfortunately, Chris, we live in a society where we don't think about it because we don't care about it.
No, I suppose not. Even that bloke, what's his name now? David Attenborough. Do you know is he 92? Is that right, David Attenborough?
Yeah.
Isn't it fantastic to still have a gig at 92? Yeah, it's just amazing. But even he was on there saying, I saw him on the news program or something like that, and he was saying, I agree with the little young protesters. He said, we are the ones who have done the damage.
Funny thing is, Chris, I now you're on this. I listen. I like, is it palindrome poetry? It's a poem that they read one way and then you read it backwards.
Right.
And it can be a positive message, a negative message one way. I work in mental health, we use them a lot. And then you read it the other way and it reads as a positive message by reading it back to front, from front to back. And there's a little lad, a 14-year-old. I think it's called, I may be wrong, but I think it's called Our Generation.
Right.
And it's written by a 14-year-old boy, and that's what it's about the planet's dead and it's added and it's destroyed. And then when you read it back, it's sort of hope that, we could save the planet. So, and that was a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, it remains to be seen, really. But I think from our point of view, it's a bit like smoking. When people started smoking, they weren't aware of the risks.
No.
And when we started using plastic bottles and, we'll bury them and they're all disintegrate, we didn't know. We didn't know that diesel would damage the environment or people's lungs. We didn't know chucking plastic in a bin would be there for thousands of years. We just didn't give it a second thought. Nobody told us. So I don't see how it just annoys me how people blame baby boomers and older for everything that's going on around them. Yes, of course, that is probably a lot of the reason. We threw away plastic and diesel cars and all this, that and the other, but we didn't know any better. No one told us.
But it's always been that way, Chris, hasn't it? If you go right back in time, they drank from lead cups.
Yes,
They poisoned themselves by drinking from lead cups. In olden times, until they realised that's what was wiping people out, e-cigarettes are the same. I think e-cigarettes are too new for us to know the real damage they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a guy yesterday and he was smoking one. I said, what is the tip made out of? The bit you put in your mouth. And he said, plastic. I said, plastic is full of toxins.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You're sucking it for an hour at a time.
Yeah, awful. All right, Roy. Well, thanks for talking to us. A pleasure to talk to you, sir.
Okay. But Chris, don't worry about the environment. I've got a pet gorilla, so I'm doing my bit. I like to refer to as an ex-girlfriend, but you never know. But there you go. Bye, Chris.
Bye-bye, Roy.
It's been an honour for you.
An absolute pleasure to talk to you. Cheerio, bye-bye now. There we are, Roy calling in there. Nice to talk to Roy after all that time there. Just got a text here from Mike who says, are my messages on Facebook not getting through this morning? Have you blocked me? Now, why would I block you, Mike? Why, oh, why would I block you? There's no reason for me to block you, is there? No, I haven't blocked you. Now, let's have a little look here. Let's have a look on I'll have a look on the message system first. There's not a single message from you up there. Hang on a minute. Going right up there. No messages from you on the message system whatsoever. Okay, now let me have a look. I've got Facebook running as well on the other screen there, so let's have a look there. Michael Lawrence. Adrian. Good God, John's messages aren't coming through either. Well, that's interesting. I've told you we do have a actually, you're not on the Facebook either. I've got no messages from you on Facebook either. Oh, there, hang on a minute. There we are. Yeah, you're on Facebook, but not on the message system. I don't know why, but the messages don't always come up on the message system. I don't know why that is. I've tried several things, but they just don't all come through. So that's why I've got. So I'm glad you sent that text in because I can see your messages. If you ever find you're sending messages and none of them are getting read out, I don't always read them all out. I try and pull out the messages that are kind of relevant to what we're doing on. Sometimes, we might be talking as we've been talking, and someone might send a message in saying, nothing to do with anything that's going on, and I'll probably skip past that because it has to be relevant to what we're doing, But it's a good idea to sort of text in on that number there, although that wasn't working last week, was it? Oh, nothing ever works. So let's find. Mike wants to know, how did you get on with your scan yesterday? Okay, as predicted. And I'm going to make you laugh here. As predicted, they didn't find anything wrong. She was a lovely lady. Heatherwood Hospital I went up to. Appointment was at 12:20. I'm always very early for appointments. I got there about 10 to 12. And they took us in only about 5 minutes after the appointment time. So went in, laid on the thing, and she had the ultrasound thing. Going up and down my stomach like that. And she had to look at all my organs and everything. She said, I'll look at all your organs while I'm here. She said, I can't see anything wrong at all there. She said, except for the fact that you're very bloated. You are full of wind. Shut up. Shut up. So I'm full of wind. But you wouldn't, it's not like I'm walking along going like that all the time. I'm just full of wind. She says, if you want to, apart from that, I can't find anything wrong in there at all. And she says, you could go to the doctor and see if they want to do further investigations. Quite frankly, I don't think they're going to find anything wrong. It's just how it is. I said, well, I'm vegetarian. She said, well, that would make you more prone to it. But apparently I'm very bloated and full of wind. And when I get that sort of discomfort, that lower part of my stomach on the right, that is the wind even worse than it is now. I don't feel bloated and full of wind now. I really don't. But sometimes I do, and it starts at the bottom right-hand side, and it can go up my back as well. But she went all over it with that scan, and everything was perfectly all right. So that's the reason for that. All right. Thank you very much for asking there, Mike. Good morning to John Aitken. Again, John hasn't got his messages aren't coming up on the chat screen either, unfortunately. John says, I've just got back from my local Tesco. I was very excited to meet the actress Shobha Gulati. Never heard of her. Shobna, is it? Shobna Gulati from Coronation Street and Dinner Ladies. I helped her find the Yorkshire tea bags. Oh, we like a Yorkshire tea bag here. You can't go wrong with a Yorkshire tea bag. Thank you very much there. Okay. Let's see if I can scroll down and see if I've missed anyone else out. It's just there it is, I'm afraid. I don't know why that is. Michael's, where is my birthday cake? You missed my birthday last month. You didn't turn up anywhere for a birthday cake, you cheeky git. You didn't turn up for a birthday cake anywhere, Michael. You don't get a birthday cake unless you're a regular customer at Central Station. You can't just walk in twice a year and expect a birthday cake. It don't work like that, mate. We look after the regulars. If you want to bring in your own birthday cake and give it to me to present to you on the stage, that's all right. I don't mind that. We don't buy birthday cakes for every Tom, Dick and Harry, dear. God's sake, man. You got to be regular. Ray Reynolds has a birthday cake. Maureen has a birthday cake. Roy has a birthday cake. You won't get one. I've only ever seen you once in here. You take the mick or what? Dear me. Outrageous. Good morning to Christina, who says there's been discussion about here to Trump visit in Portsmouth with his wall of steel. Locals and veterinarians are going to shut out due to the VIP and Mr. Trumpet. Oh, just open the doors and let him in and be done with it. It'll soon be gone again, my love. All right. Roy says autograph hunters are queuing outside. John Aiken, you just need a really big fart. Well, I don't do that very often, actually. That's probably the problem. Bend over, touch your toes. That don't work either. I've tried it. Robbie Stedman, good morning. One fart will make you feel better. I don't have a problem at the moment. No, and it doesn't actually. I've done that before when I've got that pain. I've gone and it doesn't. Roy wants to know, he heard about there's a job going at Central Station at the moment, which is for a team leader and bar staff. No, I wouldn't want to be tied to one pub. I think I could do that job quite well, actually. I think I'd become a team leader or something like that at the pub, or bar staff, perhaps, something like that. I think I could do the job really well. I would absolutely put the customers first at all times, but I don't think I'd want to be tied to one place at all. No, not like that. All right. Good morning to Peter. Morning to Peter. Welcome along to the show, Peter. Let's have a look there. Glenda says, I can't believe you had to wait over a month to have the ultrasound. In the US, we pay for health insurance, but the ultrasound would have been scheduled within a week. That's probably why, Glenda, because it's free at the point of use here. If I was really worried about it, I could go somewhere and say, I need an ultrasound. How much is that, please? Probably be about 500 quid, something like that, I suppose. It'd be quite a lot of money. But I would, if I had the money, I would pay to have something done to do it quickly. Because you want an answer, don't you, when it's health? You know what I mean, Glenda? You do want an answer, don't you? Peter says, it's not a bad day in Woodall Spa. How was your karaoke last night? I've said that already. Hello to Bernie. Bernie is in the house as well, watching the show at home this morning. Good morning to you. Roy is very excited because there's going to be a new Barry Manilow picture tomorrow, with this being the last day of April. As you know, I've already cancelled my Virgin Media. The next thing to do is cancel or change power suppliers. At the moment, I'm with outfoxthemarket.com. They are the worst at getting anything done when you've got a problem. They simply just don't deal with it. And I waited 3 months for a refund from them. I've just gone out of contract now. I'm within 30 days of the end of my contract, so I can change it and not get a leaving fee. So I'm very pleased with that. I shall be dealing with that probably tomorrow, actually, rather than today. I'm got to go down to the church tomorrow afternoon. I just got an email from. I wrote to the parish secretary last night. There's a part of the mass at church, the Gloria, okay, and I'm finding it. I don't know why. I'm a bit weak at doing that one, and it's the pedals that are mucking me up. I think what I'm going to do is change the key. I'm going to go down into C major. If you're musical, you'll know what that means. It means all white notes, basically. White notes, and I find that a lot easier. If I take, and it's got a key changer on the instrument, so if I go down a key by playing it, so I play it in a different key, I can flick a switch and it will appear as if it's in the other key. So I'm going to go down the church tomorrow. And Una wasn't there. I actually got a reply from the great Father David himself. My God, how exciting that is. All right. Adrian, you can leave electrical companies or gas companies from 56 days. Oh, is that right? Oh, okay. Well, I'm well past that now, Adrian. So I will absolutely get on to that later. I gather my present energy supplier, Outfox, will still work out at being the cheapest. But quite frankly, their customer service is so bad that I don't want to deal with them anymore. I really don't. Go on, Roy. Roy wants to leave now. We're going to finish now anyway, Roy, because I'm out of time there. Let's just say hello to Barcelona. Man, a very good morning to Man, who's in Barcelona watching the show today. Good morning to you. Christina, peppermint tea or tablets help on bloating, windy wind. I've got these peppermint capsules, although I've only had one now and again. Do you think I should, take them, as a permanent thing? Peppermint capsules, or only when it starts, and then just keep taking them until it goes down. But it is a bit of a nightmare. Thank you. John's wishing Ronnie happy birthday. None of your messages have come up on the blooming system. It's the strangest thing, that is. I don't know why that doesn't work properly. Never mind. All right, let's do today's birthdays. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my best mate Ronnie. I'm going round to see him shortly. I've got to pop into town first and then go round and see him. So happy birthday to my best mate Ronnie, who today is 46 years old. He doesn't watch this show. Very, very rarely watches this. Happy birthday, Ronnie, okay? Brandon Schmidt is 24 years old today. Good morning, Brandon. Happy birthday to you. Alex Reardon, another Reardon. How fantastic. There are two of us then. Alex Reardon, same name as mine, 22 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Alex. Penny Taylor-Young is 45 years old. Good morning, Penny. Jeremy Hughes today is 48 years old. Bernard J. Lynch. Good morning, Father. Happy birthday, Bernard. And as I say, my mate's birthday today is 46 today. And for his birthday, I'm taking him out to Claridge's for afternoon tea on Thursday, which is a really posh affair. Really, I'm hoping that I can get into a pair of grey trousers that are part of a suit, because I really don't like to spend money unless absolutely necessary. I know some of you are the same. I don't want to have to buy a new pair of trousers, so fingers crossed. What's a newsflash coming in there? Okay, that's not of interest to us, really. All right, so happy birthday to you, boys and girls. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Where are we? Look, everyone's wishing Ronnie happy birthday. That's nice, isn't it? On the subject of the peppermint capsules, Adrian, you need to take on your peppermint capsules every day for maybe a month or 2 months and see what happens. If you're far less, it might be better in Central Station. One less bad smell. How rude are you? John's going to be rejoining the gym next week. Well, good luck to you. I've put on a stone on holiday. Far too much food. Oh, I'm up about a stone and a half now, John. I've actually had to go up a size in my jeans. All those expensive jeans I bought, I can't wear them again now. Adrian, why don't you get the organ player at weddings? Because you can get paid up to about £200 a gig. And at your age of 99, it all helps to pay for that door. Open your door at the pearly gates. I've no interest in playing the organ for money, really. Of course, if it was a wedding or a funeral, one would expect the family to pay you for your services, I suppose. I've no interest in doing that. I just like to play for mass, give something back. I don't charge the church. Oh, I could never charge the church for anything. You do it because you want to do it, and that's where I am with that. Thank you for the suggestion, Adrian. Okay. Look, all these people wishing Ronnie happy birthday. Christina, I take them. It helps me on my problems. Or maybe I should take one now and again then, and see how that goes. It's all right at the moment. You see, my tummy's all right. Although the woman, she told me I was ever so bloated and full of wind. I don't feel like that. It doesn't feel like there's anything wrong, you know. Maybe I might get Ronnie to sit on my stomach later and see if any air comes out. Have a lovely Tuesday, boys and girls, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching and listening to the show, and enjoy your day. Cheerio now.